morning. Today is
Thursday,
October 8th, and we will be reading
Jeremiah 21 and 22. Yes. All right. Are you ready, Nathaniel?
Yes.
Are you ready, Gabriel? Are you ready, Matthew?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and go to 21.
Zedekiah's request denied. The word which came to Jeremiah from the Lord when King Zedekiah sent him to Pashur the son of Malchijah and Zephaniah the son of Messiah the priest, saying, Please inquire of the Lord for us, for Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon is making war against us. Perhaps the Lord will deal with us according to all his wondrous works, so that the enemy withdraws from us. Then Jeremiah said to him, Thus you shall say to Zedekiah, Thus says the Lord God of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hands, with which you fight against the king of Babylon and against the Chaldeans who besiege you outside the walls, and I will assemble them into the midst of the city. I myself will fight against you with an outstretched hand and with a strong arm, even in danger and in fury. Anger and in fury, and in great wrath. I will strike the inhabitants of this city, both man and beast. They will die of a great pestilence. Afterward, says the Lord, I will deliver Zedekiah, king of Judah, and his servants, and the people, and such as are left in the city, from the pestilence, from the sword, and from the famine, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of those who seek their life. And he shall strike them with the edge of the sword. He will not spare them, or have pity or mercy. To this people you shall say, Thus says the Lord, See, I set before you the way of life and the way of death. He who abides in the city will die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he who goes out and falls away to the Chaldeans to besiege you, he will live, and he will have his own life as booty. For I have set my face against this city for disaster and not for good, says the Lord. It will be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he will burn it with fire. Message to the house of David. Concerning the house of the king of Judah say, Hear the word of the house of David, thus says the Lord. Execute justice each morning, and deliver him who has been robbed from the hand of the oppressor. Lest my fury go out like fire and burn, so that no one can quench it, because of the evil of your deeds. See, I am against you, O inhabitant of the valley, O rocky plain, says the Lord. You men who say, Who shall come against us, or who shall enter into our dwellings? But I will punish you according to the fruit of your deeds, says the Lord. And I will kindle a fire in the forest, and it will devour all things around it. Chapter 22, Impending Judgment. Thus says the Lord, Go down to the house of the king of Judah, and speak this word there, and say, Hear the word of the Lord, O king of Judah, who sits on the throne of David, you and your servants and your people who enter by these gates. Thus says the Lord, Execute justice and righteousness, and deliver the robbed out of the hand of the oppression, and do no wrong or violence to the stranger, the fatherless, or the widow. Neither shall innocent blood and shed innocent blood in this place. For if you indeed do these things, then kings sitting on the throne of David will enter by the gates of his house, riding in chariots and on horses, he and his servants and all his people. But if you will not obey these words, I swear by myself, says the Lord, that this house will become a desolation. For thus says the Lord to the king's house of Judah, You are Gilead to me, and the peak of Lebanon. Yet surely I will make you a wilderness, and cities which are not inhabited. I will prepare destroyers against you, everyone with his weapons, and they shall cut down your choice cedars and cast them into the fire. Many nations will pass by this city, and every man shall say to his neighbor, Why has the Lord done this unto this great city? Then they will answer, Because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord their God, and worshipped other gods, and served them. Do not weep for the dead, nor bemoan them. but weep constantly for them who goes away, for he will return no more, nor see his native country. For thus says the Lord concerning Shallum the son of Josiah, king of Judah, who became king instead of Josiah his father, who went from this place. He will not return any more, but will die in the place where they have led him captive, and will see this land no more. Woe to him who builds his house with unrighteousness and his chambers with injustice, who uses his neighbor's services without wages, and gives him nothing for his work, who says, I will build myself a roomy house and large chambers, and cuts out its windows, paneling it with cedar, and painting it with vermilion. Do you reign because you compete in cedar? Did not your father eat and drink and do justice and righteousness? And then it is well with him. He judged the cause of the poor and needy, then it was well with him. Is not this what it means to know me, says the Lord? But your eyes and your heart are intent only on your covetousness, and on shedding innocent blood, and on oppression and violence. Therefore, thus says the Lord concerning Joachim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, they will not lament for him, saying, Ah, my brother, or Ah, sister. They will not lament for him, saying, Ah, Lord, or Ah, his glory. He will be buried with the burial of a donkey, drawn and cast out beyond the gates of Jerusalem. Go up to Lebanon and cry out, and lift up your voice in Bashan, and cry out from Abarim. Of all your lovers are destroyed, for all your lovers are destroyed. I spoke to you in your prosperity, but you said, I will not listen. This has been your manner from your youth, that you not obeyed my voice. The wind will sweep away all your shepherds, and your lovers shall go into captivity. Surely then you will be ashamed and humiliated for all your wickedness, O inhabitants of Lebanon, who make your nest in the cedars. How you will groan with pains come upon you, the pain as of a woman in labor. As I live, says the Lord, though Coniah, son of Joachim, king of Judah, were the signet on my right hand, yet would I pluck you from there, and I will give you into the hand of those who seek your life, and into the hand of those whose face you fear, even in the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. I will cast you and your mother that bore you out into another country where you were not born, and there you shall die. But to the land where they desire to return, they will not return there. Is this man Coniah a despised broken jar? Is he a vessel in which is no desire? Why are he and his seed cast out and thrown into a land which they have not known? O land, 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 hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, write down this man childless, a man who will not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting on the throne of David and ruling any more in Judah.
Jeremiah 21, 22.
Bye. Have a great day. Please subscribe. Like and